Sudaya. Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Everyone all together, one more time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. One more time from the core of your heart. Bolo bolo. Hare Krishna, don't pick up, same pace. One more time, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone all together, maybe you can put your hands in the air, close your eyes, not you, and everybody all together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama One more time. Let's all get very, very absorbed. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 bolo. Gauranga, 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 hey, Gauranga, 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 help me. Bolo, bolo. Gauranga, 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 oh Gauranga, Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 oh Gauranga, 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 Bolo, Gauranga, 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 Bolo, Gauranga, Bolo, Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Shri Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki, Shri Gaura Gambhira Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Gaur Premanandi. Gauragraganya Gana Gotra Goloruharam, Gauranga Gudatama Gopyada Kopa Briksham, Gopala Gada Ratidam Yati Singha Gora, Govinda Deshi Kavaram, Satatam Namahami. Uttama Adama Kichuna Bachila Jachila Dileka Kola Kahe Premananda Hemona Gauranga Hridoya Dariya Bola Bhaja Gauranga Kaha Gauranga Laha Gaurangera Namare Bolo Bhaja Gauranga Kaha Gaurangang Laha Gaurangeran Bhaja Gauranga Kaha Gauranga Laha Gaurangeran Namore Bhaja Gauranga Kaha Gauranga Laha Gaurangeran Namore Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje Se Hoy Amara Pranare Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje Se Hoy Amara Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje Se Hoy Amara Pranare Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje Se Hoy Amara Pranare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yasyaiva padambuja bhakti labhya prema vidana parama pumarta tasmai jagan mangala mangalaya chaitanya chandraya namo namaste Chaitanya Chandraya namo namaste Chaitanya Chandraya namo Madgavir api Gopala Sri Kuryat Kripaya Juri Tadaiva Sambhaya Pitva Rishi Yustat Priya Janaha Shri Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Sasanatana Rupaka Gopala Raghunathapta Brajabala Bapahimam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Tanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
I'd just like to know if the gate's going to be open.
Premanandi. So, we're here in this very special place, Gora Gambira. The word Gambira has a number of meanings. We know of at least 4 different meanings of the word Gambira. Gambira, in Sanskrit, we know of 4 different meanings of the word Gambira. Gambira, in Sanskrit, one of the meanings is something which is very grave and very deep. In Orissa, a Gambira also refers to a small secret room where a wealthy person keeps his treasure. So this is Kashi Mishra's Gambira. And what is his treasure? His treasure is Gauranga Mahaprabhu that he was keeping hidden away. Another meaning is Lilatu Gambira Yatra Gambira Sa Nigadyate. That place where very deep and grave pastimes take place is called Gambira. We were doing some research some years ago, and one of our associates found an old manuscript. We don't even know what book it was because the front part was gone. But it's something like the Amarakosh, a dictionary. And there's an interesting definition given in that book for Gambira. Listen to this. It says that Gambira means Gamane Bhiyam Rati Iti Gambira. Wherever thought of Krishna comes, wherever thought of Krishna going away, whenever that thought comes, then fear, B, is expressed, Ra, and therefore the name Gambira. Gambira means someone who's afraid of Krishna going. And who is afraid of Krishna leaving is Srimati Radharani. So, this is a very difficult place always, I find, to try to speak something, because when we say something to the Vaishnavas, we're not giving a lecture in the university. We're not giving a sermon in church. It's not like a commercial on television. Our purpose is not information, dissemination. Our purpose is to go somewhere together on a journey of the heart through the vehicle of a katha. Our purpose is to try to say something, therefore, for devotees which is relevant. Now, I don't know how many of you consider this place very relevant in your life, the Gambira. Such a very, very inconceivably high place. This is a place where God came and locked himself up in a room for 12 years and cried for himself. We've never heard of any kind of place like this. A few months ago, Krishna Kun's mother came to India, and she's a nice person. She was staying in her ashram. I told her, when you smoke cigarettes, just please go out on the balcony. She's not a devotee or anything like that. But I asked her, would you like to see some places in Jagannatha Puri? Yes, yes. She's like a tourist. So I brought her here to the Gambira. And I said, this place, this is where a great saint did his prayers. Oh. And I just wanted her to come and breathe the air and touch the walls and just be here in this place. This very, very inconceivably profound place. So it has something to do with all of us, because Krishna has something to do with all of us. But what is it that has to do with us? How is it relevant for us? We should understand something about the purposes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has described that there are 2 purposes for Mahaprabhu's appearance in this world. Prema rasa niryasa korite asvadana raga marga bhakti loke korite pracharana Rashika Shekara Krishna Parama Karuna Hetu Hoite Ichara Udgamha. He had two purposes, an internal purpose and what we call, which is an antaranga karan, an internal purpose, and a bahiranga karan, an external purpose. But when we translate bahiranga karan as external purpose, it doesn't sound right to me, because external means something not needed, not wanted. But when we say bahiranga, I don't know how else we can translate it. It's how Srila Prabhupada gives it. But it doesn't mean that it's something bad. The bahiranga karan, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, is to give ragamag, to give raganuga bhakti to people all over the world, to give braj prem. That's his external purpose. It's not really a very external thing. And his internal purpose is prema rasa niryasa koriti asvadana. Asvadana means to relish, to taste. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, this is a little technical. I'm going to say this, I understand this may be a little philosophical for some of you. But we should understand that such an idea exists. We should understand that there is such teachings like this in our movement. If we don't understand that calculus exists and we think everything is just 2 + 2 = 4, arithmetic, then how are we going to progress? We should know something. The 6th verse of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in this verse, Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kiddhisovanayaiva Swadyo Yena Bhuta Madhuri Makiddhisova Madhya Sokyam Chashramananubhavada Kiddhisam Veti Lobhat Tadbhavaja Sachigarba Sindhu Harindu. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is given the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita in one verse, in this Mula verse. He describes 3 reasons why Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We should understand this. It's a very, very important thing, and I'll explain in a moment why this is relevant also for us. But if we don't understand something about this, then this whole place is just a big mystery to us. Krishna had some greed. Although Krishna is Rasika Shekhar, the crest jewel of people who relish rasa, there's something he couldn't understand. He couldn't understand the love of Radha. Srila Prabhupada said in one lecture, the Mayavadis, the impersonalists, they want to become one with God. But the devotees have a greater aspiration. They become greater than God. Because being a devotee is a greater position than God. And we have proof of that. The proof is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's God himself, but he wasn't satisfied being God. He wants to understand what it's like being a devotee. Devotees get more fun. Devotees have more happiness than I have. So he wanted to understand, what is it that Radharani, what kind of ecstasy does she have? What does she see in me? He wanted to understand these things. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says these desires were not fulfilled in Navadvip. They were not fulfilled even in Vrindavan. But they were fulfilled here in Jagannath Puri Dham. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he describes in Antilila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Loki nahi deki aichi, shastri nahi suni, hena bhava vyakta kori nyasi chudamani. No one has ever heard in any scripture, shastri nahi suni, no one has ever seen, Loki nahi deki, the kind of ecstasies that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited here in the Gambhira. It's not spoken about in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu when the different symptoms of ecstasy are there. The ecstasies that Mahaprabhu is experiencing here are completely off the charts. Sometimes blood was coming from his skin. Sometimes water was shooting out of his eyes like water from a syringe. Sometimes in ecstasy, he would begin rubbing his face on the wall, and blood would be coming. And the devotees became very, very disturbed. Why is this? We should understand. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he explains, Radhika bhava jaichi udava darshane se bhava matta prabhu rahi ratri dini. Just in the same way, at the place known as Udavakeri, near to Nandagaon. Has anybody been to Udavakeri? Raise your hand. It's a very wonderful place, very mysterious place. It's a place known as a place of the Brahma Ragit, where Radharani had a talk with a bumblebee. And that's the place where she was speaking with Uddhava to the bumblebee. And Srimati Radharani was unmadana, means transcendentally mad, transcendentally insane. There's a reason why insanity is very astonishing for many, many people. There's a reason why many, many thoughtful persons have studied insanity. There's a book that I have called The Madness of the Saints, written by a big scholar. Because they understand there's a fine line. Who's really crazy? Srila Prabhupada told the devotees to make a book like that. Who's really crazy? I'll tell you a little story that I heard from some Brijbasis. That 100 years or so ago, there was one sadhu in Vrindavan. He was speaking Bhagavatam every day. And different people were coming. He was a very good speaker, a very learned person. And there was one fellow who was coming who, I don't know how to put it politely, but he smelled bad. And he hadn't taken bath in maybe months, or who knows, maybe years. And he would sleep on the street. And sometimes people would see him eating off the ground, and dogs were also eating with him. And he would come into the assembly. Everybody would get up and kind of move away from him. But he came every day, and he never said anything. And this speaker marked him, but he never spoke with him. One day, the speaker of that katha happened to be going into the temple of Gopishwar Mahadev. And he saw that strange fellow coming out. And he stopped him and said, "Hey, what's your name?" And he said, "Such and such Sharma." Sharma is a Brahmin family. Not sure. He said, "Where do you come from?" "I come from such and such place, a very high-class village of Sarasvat Brahmin family, very high-class Brahmin family." The scholar was a little surprised. He said, "Do you have any education?" He said, "Yeah, I have a master's degree in science." This crazy fellow told him, "I have a master's degree in science." The speaker of the Bhagavatam, he said, "What are you doing, man? You're not taking bath. You're eating on the ground with the dogs." And that strange fellow somehow told him something. He was inspired in the heart. He said something which usually he wouldn't say. And in a very humble way, he said, "Well, if I don't act like this, then I can't see Krishna." The Bhagavat reciter looked at him and said, "You see Krishna?" Very simple person. "Yes, I see." "How do you see Krishna?" Because he knows our Gaudiya Siddhanta. Is it like a spurti? You see him 1 second and Krishna disappears? He said, "No, I sit and talk with him like I would talk with you." He said, "But if I don't do like this, then I can't see Krishna." That doesn't mean all of you should stop bathing and eat with the dogs. Prabhuji's going to get upset with me. You won't be able to distribute books very well if you do like that. But the point is, the madness of the saints. Once there was, we give a whole seminar about this. We have a lot of stories. Once there was one famous Sufi saint. This is a little risque story, please excuse me. But he was coming to some village, and everybody was coming out. "Oh, sadhu's here, sadhu's here." Everybody was coming to ask for his ashirbad, his blessing. And this fellow just wanted to be left alone. And so he was yelling at them. They thought, "Oh, he's very bhavuk." And they wouldn't leave him alone. And so then all of a sudden, in the middle of the street, in the middle of the town, he pulled his zipper down in his pants and started doing his business in the middle of the street, passing urine in front of everybody. all the people were completely, this guy's not a sadhu. This guy's crazy. And they left him alone. So there's a fine line between madness and sanity. There's a fine line between the greatest ecstasy and madness. When you come to the Hare Krishna movement, everybody thinks you're crazy. But who's really crazy? Huh? Somebody who's driving in their car for 4 hours a day. I know people like this in Los Angeles, driving for 4 hours a day in their car to go to a job that they hate, right? So they can get some money to pay for the clothes that they wear to work, to pay for the car they drive to their job, and to pay for the house that they never stay in because they're driving back and forth to work. But it's okay. Life's all right because I have television. Who's really crazy? So there's a fine line between these things. And Srimati Radharani had become divinely mad in separation from Krishna. And Krishna, he wanted to understand, what is that madness? That madness is pretty good stuff. I wouldn't mind having a little taste of that. He wanted to understand that. But he couldn't. It's beyond his means. And so he came here to this place, to Jagannath Puri Dham. Why didn't he experience it in Vrindavan? We raise this question sometimes. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have been to Mayapur before? Raise your hand. Okay, pretty much everybody here. How many stones did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu melt in Mayapur? But would you? 0. Okay, how many stones, not Krishna, simple question, how many stones did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu melt in Vrindavan? 0. How many stones did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu melt here in Jagannath Puri? I know of 4. One of them is in Vrindavan now. It's a Govardhan Shila, which one Brahmin brought to him here. And here in the Gambhira, in ecstasy, he was rubbing that Shila. He melted the stone. 2 others are inside the Jagannath Mandir, and the Deshi devotees, you can go and see. Maybe some of you already have. There are 3 fingerprints in the Garuda Stamba, where he was standing. He melted his fingers in the stone. There are his footprints, which are by the Garuda Stamba, which have now been moved to a separate shrine. And in Alarnath, Brahmagiri, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there, that's another long story, he began to roll on the ground in front of the deity of Alarnath, and he melted a stone with his whole body imprint. We've never heard of ecstasies like this. We've never heard of any ecstasies even Srimati Radharani has in Vrindavan, like the ecstasies that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced here. Now, I remember once I was requested to give a Bhagavatam class in Vrindavan, and I was a little nervous. It was Kartik time, and there were a lot of senior devotees there. So I went that morning, and I saw Jai. Sachinandan Maharaj was there, and some senior devotees. I was feeling very uncomfortable to try to speak in front of him. And then I noticed, I'd prepared carefully for the class, though. And then I looked up on the board, and I realized I prepared for the wrong verse. And I have to give class in like a few seconds. So I turned to Sachinandan Maharaj and I said, Maharaj, you should give the class. I'm not qualified and I'm a very bad person. Maharaj said, no, you should speak. I said, Maharaj, what will I say? And then Maharaj told me, you should speak about Jagannath Puri. Okay. So I sat down and I spoke something about Jagannath Puri. And there was one devotee in the audience. Actually, he came down from his room upstairs toward the end of the class. Some of you may know him. Very intense personality, and raised his hand, and he challenged what I had to say. His name is Ayendra. And he said, you're speaking all these things about Jagannath Puri, but in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left Jagannath Puri to go to Vrindavan, his ecstasy increased 100 times more. And when he arrived in Mathura, it increased 1,000 times more than that. And when he arrived in Vrindavan, it increased 100,000 times more. Ha! He said like this. I said, yes, that's true. But why didn't he stay in Vrindavan? Why did he come back to Jagannath Puri? And why is it that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that his desires to understand Radharani's feelings were fulfilled here in Jagannath Puri and not in Vrindavan? To understand this, we're going to go a little postgraduate, okay? Take a deep breath, okay? In the Bhakti Ratnakar by Narahari Chakravarti Thakur, it mentions where Mahaprabhu was staying in Vrindavan, a place called Imli Tal. Anybody been to Imli Tal? Raise your hand. Okay. Wonderful place. That was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's favorite place in Vrindavan. And many of you may know the story of Imli Tal. Shriman Rasa Rasadam Vamsivat Tatastita. Krishna was doing Ras Leela at Vamsivat with the gopis. And Radharani became sulky and angry. Now, why Radharani became sulky and angry, and how that compares to Navadvip and Jagannath Puri, that's another topic. It's a postgraduate discussion. Maybe some other time. But I wanted to put that in the ether. You should think about it. Why did she leave? Huh? So she left the Ras Leela. Now, Radharani, one of her names is Rasa Biharani. She's the heroine of the Ras Leela. She's the hero. If there's no Radharani, there's no Ras Leela. Forget it. The whole thing closes down. So Krishna became disturbed. He started searching in the groves on the bank of the Jamuna and calling out, Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. And he came and sat underneath a tamarind tree. In Sanskrit, we call that Imli Tal. And calling out, Radhe, Radhe. Suddenly, his blackish complexion changed, and he became like Champak Varni Radha, the complexion of Srimati Radharani. And then he thought, this is very bad. Huh? What? So he left that place. Then later, 500 years ago, the same Krishna came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he sat under the same tree. Only this time, he's not chanting Radhe, Radhe. Our sampradaya is not following Krishna. Our sampradaya is following Radha. We're doing our kirtan not for the pleasure of pleasing Krishna. We're doing our kirtan to please Radha. And that's why we chant the names of Krishna, because Radharani likes that. Huh? If we chanted the names of Radha, Krishna would appreciate that. But we want to please Srimati Radharani. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Radha. So he's sitting under the same tree, chanting Krishna, Krishna, and something happened. His Gauravarna changed. And Gaura Sundar became Shama Sundar. He became blackish. And he thought, this is very bad. I came here to taste the mood of Radha, the mood of separation, the mood of being a devotee. And now I've become blackish like Krishna. The next thing, I'm going to have a flute and a peacock feather, and then I won't be able to think of myself as a devotee. I'll think I'm Krishna. So I have to leave this place. To taste the mood of Radha, he had to go to a place which is two opposites in one container. Huh? It had to be Vrindavan, but it couldn't be Vrindavan. In the Garga Sanghita, Radharani says, Yatra Vrindavanam nasti, yatra no gobadanadi, nasti, yatra no jamananadi, tatame namanasuk. I have no happiness with these three things. The Vrindavan forest, Govardhan Hill, and the Jamuna River are not found. So, Radharani, if Mahaprabhu wants to taste the mood of Radha, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone, but he can't go to San Jose. You don't find Radharani wandering around in the streets of San Jose or Cupertino or something, right? You don't find Radharani walking around the streets in St. Petersburg or Moscow. Radharani never leaves Vrindavan. So it has to be in Vrindavan to taste Radharani's mood. But it can't be Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is a place of sambhog, the place of union. And in Vrindavan, when Radharani's mood arises, then Krishna has to come running. He can't, that's a place of the feelings of union. So he can't experience what it's like to have Radharani's feelings of separation there. So he has to go to a place which is Vrindavan but not Vrindavan. And where did he come? He came to Jagannath Puri Dham. And this place is described by Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. He says at K3, what is it? Tasmin Subhadra Balaram Samyutas Tamvai Vinodham Purushottamo Bhajet Chakre Sagobardhana Brinda Katavi Kalinda Jatiri Bhuvi Swayamayam. Gopakumar was instructed that you go to Jagannath Puri. And Tasmin Subhadra Balaram Samyutas. There you'll find Balaram and Subhadra. You'll find Jagannath in that place known as Purushottam Kshetra. And you'll also find three things. Chakre sa Govardhan, you'll find Govardhan Hill. Chakre sa Govardhana, Brindakatavi, you'll find the Brindavan forest. Kalinda Jatira Bhuvi Swayamayam, you'll find the Jamuna River. The Purusha Bodhini Shruti of the Atharva Veda declares that Yatra Bhargavi Jamuna, Govardhana Ratna Samasana, Bimala Sadosa Chandika Sadosa Gopyaha. That here in Jagannath Puri, this place is Gupta Vrindavan. It's a hidden compartment of Vrindavan. And the Govardhan Hill is here. The Jamuna River is here. The Vrindavan forest is here. And this is why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited these ecstasies here. This is how he could experience Radharani's mood. Okay, so now what has this got to do with me? Huh? We should think about it. This is the Jagannath Puri University of Braj Prem. And each different Tirtha Stali in this place is a different classroom to give us a lesson. The first Tirtha Stali is a Jagannath Mandir, which has several lessons. I won't speak about that now. The second is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, where we're going after this. And this is the third. The Jagannath Mandir represents several things. It represents, amongst other things, organized religion. And let's be really honest, there's problems sometimes in organized religion. Did anybody ever notice that? It can really be a pain sometimes. I was really appreciating yesterday what Vaisesika was saying, how there's always problems and how there's always people who are different than you, but we tolerate that. So the Jagannath Mandir had problems. The Jagannath Mandir has problems. The Jagannath Mandir previously wouldn't allow Haridas Thakur inside. They wouldn't allow Rupa and Sanatana Goswami inside. And the same rule is there today. That's a big topic. We just wrote a long article for Satyaraj's journal about the history of this rule and some of the meanings behind it, some things. It's another topic. But the Jagannath Mandir represents organized religion. Organized religion has some problems, but it's necessary. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us, he went there 3 times a day, according to Lochandas Thakur. He supported organized religion, even though it had problems. But to survive, to keep his sanity, he had, or his insanity, depending on how you look at it, there was another place where he was staying nearby, which is the Gambhira. So this is our proposal, that there's a lesson here in this place. We should learn to support organized religion. 3 times a day we go to the Jagannath Mandir, we support the preaching, the activities of organized religion, but at the same time, we need to go on Yatra with Vaisesika Prabhu. We need to come to the Gambhira. We need to have a Gambhira in our own life. And the things that we're speaking about here today, I'm not going to speak about these things in the streets of San Francisco to some new person. They can't understand. But I have to speak about it with the devotees. If we don't speak about it with the devotees, then we may think, oh, I know everything. I'm a vegetarian. I follow 4 principles. And I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's everything. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur at Radhakund once, he said, you've been chanting for so many years. You should understand something about Radha and Krishna. He said, I know you're not ready for it, but you should know that such an idea exists. He said it's not enough just to pursue anartha nibritti, to purify my heart. He said if you only pursue anartha nibritti, you may become a mayavadi, an impersonalist. Rather, our goal is to have artha prabritti. We want something to fill the hole. So that's our understanding. This is our purpose in coming here to the Gambhira. And here in the Gambhira, we like to contemplate the formula of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life. 24, 6, 6, 12. This is the formula. 24, 6, 6, and 12. 24 years he spent in Grihastha ashram. In Navadvip with Sachimata, with his wives, Vishnupriya, and he spent 24 years there. And then he took sannyas. And the next 6 years, he traveled and preached very vigorously. Now, traveling and preaching, Vaisesika Babu could tell us, I know, is extremely intense on the body. I can tell you. It's a very, very destructive thing to the body. It's a very difficult thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed a very ideal example. For 6 years, he traveled in South India and he preached. And in the next 6 years, he stayed here in Jagannatha Puri. And those 6 years, he had a different program. His program in those 6 years was cultivating all the ISV devotees. I mean, all the intimate devotees. With Srup Damodar Goswami, Roy Ramananda, Rupan Sanatan Goswami. He was training his lieutenants to spread this movement. And he was training them to relish here in this place. So that was 24, and then 6 traveling, and 6 staying here and training his lieutenants. And then the final 12 were the years that he locked himself up here in the Gambhira by himself. It doesn't mean that we have to follow this exact mathematical formula, but it's a very nice concept. We have our grihastha, we take care of the things we need to do, and then we have some time in our life for preaching, for the mission. And then we have some time in our life where we go deeper with a small group of devotees. Because if you go, even if we go to some big devotee function with 1,000 devotees, I can't speak like this. You can't talk like this in front of so many devotees. It requires an intimate group. So then Mahaprabhu taught us another segment of his life. He spoke with those intimate devotees to nourish them in a deep way. And then he spent the last 12 years to teach us how important it is to go deep in our own bhajan, because we have a long ways to go. Our goal is not anartha nibritti. Someone may say our goal is to realize our swarup, who I am in the spiritual world. But that even is not our goal. Someone may say our goal is to go to the spiritual world and be with Radha and Krishna. That's also not our goal. Our goal is to realize our swarup, to go to the spiritual world, and to realize our personal service to Radha and Krishna and engage in that. And we shouldn't be satisfied with anything less than that. So I'd like to stop here. They're about to do the gong show. I'm sorry for stopping when it's so noisy. There's so many things to say. I got a little carried away today, I'm sorry. But I wonder if the devotees have any reflections just for a couple minutes before we go to Sarvabhauma's house. Ananda Murari Prabhu. Is there a microphone?
Appreciating the reference of Brihad Bhagavatamrita and currently reading that, and how Gopakumar is constantly everywhere he goes, he's always thinking about Jagannatha Puri, and that he should just come back here. And also just that the importance of having not only the sharing of it, and not only having a close association, but then the importance of having that internal life. And every time we come here on Yatra, I always really appreciate this point and that reinforcement that I have to cultivate something deep and real, and I have to feel something for Krishna. So I really appreciate that point. Thank you.
We've also been reading Brihad Bhagavatamrita in our ashram with the devotees, and a little slow, discussing things. we were reading the 4th verse the other day, and the 4th verse is part of the Mangalacharna. And in the Mangalacharya, Sanatana Goswami, he's stating, this is what we're going to talk about. This is what's really important for us. And in the 4th verse, he speaks about Braj, and how Braj is such a Braj is the ultimate goal. It's all that we want. And he said, Braj is such a place, if you want material enjoyment, then it can give that to you. It's such a beneficial place. Or if you want liberation, you can get liberation from Braj. Or if you want Krishna Prem, it can give that. And we were commenting how someone may say, well, this is about Braj, but it's not talking about Jagannath Puri. But Sanatana Goswami speaks about Jagannath Puri later in the book in a confidential way. We were just quoting that verse, and there's a number of other verses. And I would suggest that in kind of a hidden way, he's also describing that clearly in that 4th verse, because later he says that Jagannath Puri, this is also Vrindavan. So what he's speaking about in that 4th verse also applies for Jagannath Puri. This is a place where people can get dharma, artha, kama, and get sense gratification, and material enjoyment. But it's also a place they can get liberation, and it's also a place we can get Krishna Prem. Well, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Madhavananda Prabhu. Even though this is my 4th time here, being at the retreat with you and all the devotees, this is the first time that I've heard that this is the place where Lord Chaitanya could fulfill. Maybe you said it, but I didn't hear it. This is the place where he could actually fulfill his inner purpose for appearing, which was to experience the madness of love for Krishna that Radha feels. So that's number one. Now I've heard you explain before how Jagannath Puri represents organized religion, which is faulty.
The Jagannath Mandir.
Yeah, Jagannath Mandir. Thanks. And generally speaking, organized religion is faulty, but it serves an important purpose. And that is to give the teachings of Krishna to the mass of people, and the training, the information, and the place to come practice it. And that Lord Chaitanya supported that, but at the same time he maintained a balance in his own spiritual life. He had his intimate friends that he practiced Krishna consciousness with, or alone, and in this way he was able to nourish. I'm speaking as if he's like one of us, but he showed us how to nourish, how it's up to each individual to nourish their own spiritual life. And it was so incredibly helpful for me the first time you pointed it out, and it continues to help me, because I was conflicted from the moment I joined ISKCON, honestly, because I have a little bit of aversion towards organized religion and even proselytizing and these kind of things. And I've always been attracted to just kind of staying by myself and being with just a few devotees. So I see now the necessity of both. And to hear that Lord Chaitanya actively went to the temple 3 times a day and supported organized religion, that's been very helpful for me. So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Brajananda.
Hare Krishna. So I could say a lot of things about this, but maybe I'll just say one thing, and maybe you already know what I'm talking about, is that yesterday you said, can you hear me? Okay. Yesterday you said that the place we were at yesterday is the best place in the universe, but I think that this is the best place in the universe after you gave your class, because separation is sweeter than being together. And yesterday that was Rasa Lila, right? So, but today is like Krishna's, like Gambhira is like Krishna's leaving, right? And that's the hankering. So, what do you think?
Wow, Brajananda Prabhu Ki. It reminds me of a comment that I once heard from an old sadhu at Radha Damodar temple, and he was speaking to us, and he said that when you go to you have Rupa Goswami's Samadhi, and you have Rupa Goswami's Bhajan Kutir. Which do you go to first? Which do you offer obeisance? Which is more sacred? And he explained the Bhajan Kutir is more sacred, even though the Samadhi has Rupa Goswami's body, because that activity is where his heart is at, his bhajan. So, to support your statement, this is where Mahaprabhu's activity is. His body may be there with Tota Gopinath, and that's the best place in that sense. But I would have to agree with you in another sense about this. Thank you. Vajanananda Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. You've thoroughly satisfied my heart with the Gauranga Kirtan and the Katha that you shared with us here. May I ask a question? I totally accept that Lord Chaitanya couldn't fulfill his innermost desire anywhere but here in Puri and Gambhira. Are you suggesting or implying that the devotees, the real devotees, they cannot experience or find their goal, like you said, their personal service only here as Lord Chaitanya fulfilled his inner desire? Could they find it preaching or in Vrindavan or in Mayapur?
Well, as yesterday we were hearing from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, higher than our own personal bhajan is to serve our acharyas. And the ideal example is Lord Nityananda, whose appearance day was yesterday. And there's no tirthas of Nityananda Prabhu in Jagannath Puri. I know one place, which not too far from Janjapita Mutt, where he did kirtan with some children. And it's a long story. I'll tell this story. It's a very nice story because today's Narottam Das Thakur's appearance day. So this has to do with Narottam Das Thakur. That once Narottam Das Thakur came to Jagannath Puri with a group of disciples, and all of a sudden something happened. And their Gurudev just went nuts. And he started rolling on the ground and laughing and crying, and everybody was shocked. And they said, Guru Maharaj, what is it? And he told them, he had this realization there, that he had this vision. He said, Lord Nityananda did kirtan here at this place with a group of children. And it was the greatest ecstasy he'd ever experienced. Because it's nice doing kirtan with children. Because children are simple. And Nityananda was in so much ecstasy. So there was one of his disciples of Narottam Das Thakur there named Sevadas. And he said, Guru Maharaj, can I stay here then and do my bhajan? And Narottam said, yes, you do. And Narottam later sent his deities, his personal deities of Radhakant. There are two important deities of Radhakant in Jagannath Puri. One is here, and the other is at the Janjapita Mutt. And why is it called Janjapita? Pitta means some noise. Janja means these things. So this Sevadas, Narottam Das Thakur's disciple, was a fired up Hare Krishna guy. And every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, he was doing like this and going around the Jagannath Mandir and chanting Hare Krishna. And people were a little annoyed. It's confirmed. and so they called that place Janjapita. So, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. Can you maybe offer some little explanation of maybe just the various rooms in this building, what the room we're sitting in now, and are we able to get some clarity on that, on which room is which pastime? And
I got permission. Some years ago, I was speaking with, what's his name? Satchidananda Maharaj. He's the Mahant at Janjapita Mutt. And he previously was a Mahant here in the Gambhira. And some years ago, Indradumna Maharaj came to Puri, and he's really into Narottam Das Thakur. So he wanted me to take him to Janjapita Mutt so he could see those deities. Those are some of the original deities established by Narottam Das Thakur at the Keturi festival. So we went there, and then I introduced him to the Mahant there, and we were having some conversation, and it was going really good, and I thought, this is a good opportunity. I have a question I've been wanting to know for a long time. And I said, Maharaj, you used to be the Mahant here at the Gambhira. So my question is, are any of the structures in the Gambhira, are they 500 years old from the time of Mahaprabhu? And he said, no, none of them. I said, okay. And then I asked him another question. I said, I've heard that actually that's not the Gambhira, that room. But the real Gambhira is under the ground. And he kind of looked at me for a moment. And he said, don't tell anybody this. That's why I had to get permission first. He said, but that's correct. He said, the Gambhira is under the ground. And I've heard that some saintly persons, sometimes they take them to that place. I don't know. My humble prayer here at this time, in this place, is that someday Vaisesika Prabhu and all the devotees, you will all be able to go. Bring me also when you go to that room underneath the ground. So that's there. And then there's, over here we have the deities of Radhakant, who are worshipped by Kashi Mishra and what's his name, who danced so ecstatically, Vikeshwar Pandit, and his disciple Gopal Guru Goswami, and his disciple Jan Chandra Goswami, and there's a deity there of Gopal Guru Goswami, and they have they have a Julan Yatra place over here. And otherwise the office is over here, and some ashrams or sadhus and like that. Anything else from anybody? Prabhuji? Krishna Kun? You've got the mic.
Yeah, I have the mic, so I wanted to take this opportunity to differ with Brajananda Prabhu. Because I feel that Mahaprabhu, in the role of being his own devotee, he did his bhajan here, but he was crying for Krishna. But I don't know Krishna, and my process is to cry for the devotees of Krishna. So at Tota Gopinath, I cry for Mahaprabhu. So separation from the devotee is better than separation from Krishna for me.
Okay. So for some devotees, they may say, well, you ask them what is the best place, and they'll say ISV, because that's where I preach. But some other devotees say, no, it's the Bhakti Center in New York, because that's what they say. And somebody else may say, no, it's Jagannatha Puri. Someone else may say it's St. Petersburg. And everybody's correct, because that place where we're doing our bhajan, that's the best place.
I think I kind of got the answer, but I'll still ask the question, Prabhu. We also see that how all the Goswamis under the direction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu later on gave so much of teachings, and one of the book is Nectar of Instruction, which is given by Rupa Goswami, and in that we see in the last two verses how there are different gradations given for the various holy places, and it is said obviously that the topmost spiritual place is Sri Radhakund of all the places. So now Radhakund and Shamkund, I mean, as far as I've heard, are not present here. So how is then Jagannath Puri still most sacred?
Well, it's a little confusing. It's a little bit of a deep topic. And it can be seen from different perspectives. Just like we're saying, from one perspective, ISV is the best. From another perspective, the Bhakti Center is the best. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, I'm not saying this, he's saying this. In one article he wrote that there at Chatak Parvat, where we were yesterday at the Purushottam, Radhakund and Shamakund are there. And all the different places of the Sakis and Manjaris are there at that place. And Purusha Bodhini Shruti also describes that all the places in Braj are here, but they're here in a hidden form. How do we understand this? Srila Prabhupada writes in one purport, he says, these three places, Vrindavan Dham, Mayapur Dham, and Jagannath Puri Dham, are non-different. And the great authority, one of the greatest authorities of the world, her name was Sachi Mata, the mother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she's declared that Nila Chali Naba Dvipi Jai Duigar, that these two places are two rooms in the same house, Nabadvip Dham and Jagannath Puri Dham. But what is the difference between them? I wasn't going to mention this, but now I'll say something. It's postgraduate stuff. Why did Srimati Radharani leave the Ras Leela? Some Vaishnavas say, oh, she left the Ras Leela because she wasn't happy because Krishna was giving equal attention to the Sadhana Siddhi gopis and the Munichari gopis, the Rishichari gopis, as he was to the Nityasiddha gopis. But we don't find that a very satisfying answer. It means that Radharani's selfish, and she's making some distinction like that. A more satisfying answer is given by our acharyas that she was unhappy because she saw this is like Kitri. Kitri is some common kind of thing. This is not going to give the topmost pleasure to Krishna. Because some of these gopis, it's described in the Garga Samhita, that some of the gopis were living in Ayodhya. They fell in love with Lord Ramachandra. They were girls in Ayodhya, and they took birth as gopis in Braj. Some of them were living in the Dandak forest. Some of them were living in the ocean. They were fish. And when Matsya Avatar came, they said, damn, that's one hunk of a fish. And they fell in love with Matsya. And he told them, look, that's not my business to hang out with little girly fishies. I'm here to save the Vedas. I have other work to do. But you can come and Dwarpar Yuga and Braj. And so they took birth there. But maybe they were a little fishy. I don't know. So anyway, Radharani wasn't so happy. So she left for that reason. And where did she go? Later, they had another Ras Leela at Chanda Sarovar. And that place was invitation only. The Astasakis and the Astamanjaris. And that Ras Leela gave Krishna the most pleasure. We were speaking something about that there. So, now let's compare this to Nabadweep. Now we're going a little further along. In Nabadweep, in Mayapur, the Rasastali is there. What is the Rasastali in Mayapur? We were doing kirtan there last year with Havi. Srivasangam. So, the Ras Leela at Vamsivat, that's called Panchayati Ras. And for those who don't know what a Panchayat is, to roughly translate, it's kind of like an open house. It's a village place where they come together and discuss things, matters how to manage and take care of the village affairs. It's a Panchayat. So that Ras is called Panchayati Ras because it's open house for everyone. And then later there was a Ras Leela at Chanda Sarovar, more condensed. So what is the Ras Leela in Shivasanga? It's Maha Panchayati Ras. Because not only are there different types of gopis there, but you've got Sadashiva, Dvaitacharya there, Mahavishnu. You've got Narada Muni there in the form of Srivas Thakur. It's his house. And not only that, you've got Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother there. If you want to go on a honeymoon somewhere, Prabhuji, don't invite your mother, okay? Your wife won't understand, all right? Ananda Murai, Prabhu. It's not cool. So he was able to relish something, but that was like open house. So for him to understand the mood of Radha means to be akantik, one-pointed. He had to come here to Jagannath Puri. There's two rooms in the same house, but the depth of the experience for Mahaprabhu here in Puri was more. And we see Radhakund and Shyamakund here in a kind of hidden way, in a way of the heart. Is that okay? Sorry, those are big topics. Anything more from anybody? Any other ladies have any comments or anything? Reflections? Satyadev Prabhu?
Would it be too long for you to tell us about Gopal Guru?
Briefly. So Gopal Guru Goswami was in charge of the deity here. He was a disciple of Vikeshwar Pandit. I won't tell you the story about Gopal Guru Goswami from his childhood. It's a very charming, wonderful story. His name was Makaradvaj. And it's a long story. But I'd like to tell you the story about the deity. When Gopal Guru Goswami became older, he had one disciple named Dhyan Chandra Goswami. And Gopal Guru Goswami told him that when I leave this world, you take care of Radhakant. And then Gopal Guru Goswami became old. And one day, Hare Krishna, he passed away. And all the devotees were crying. And they're carrying his body on a palanquin to go to Swargadwar to burn the body. The king of Puri found out about it. And the king of Puri decided, those deities belong to me. My dad captured those deities in South India, and I'm going to take those deities over. So he came here and said, now this is our temple. And Dhyan Chandra Goswami, he's lost his Guru Maharaj, and now he's lost his seva. Prabhupada writes in the 4th canto of the Bhagavatam, he says the only reason a bona fide disciple will live after the disappearance of Guru is to execute the order of Guru. And so now he's lost his Guru and he can no longer execute the order. So Dhyan Chandra Goswami was crying and crying, and he ran to Swargadwar and he fell at the feet of his Guru. They were just getting ready to light the fire. And he was crying, Gurudev, please do something. This Badmas king, this rascal king, he just took away the service of Radhakant. What can we do? And then all of a sudden, the body sat up. And Gopal Guru Goswami took off the sheet. He said, he did what? Nonsense guy. And he got off the funeral pyre. Everybody was very amazed and very happy. And he came back and he told the king, you leave him alone. Let Dhyan Chandra Goswami do the puja. And so Dhyan Chandra Goswami was doing. And meanwhile, Gopal Guru Goswami, he got a little older again. And another time later, he passed away. And so, again, they took his body to burn the body. And again, the king came and he took over the worship. And Dhyan Chandra Goswami was crying and crying. And the body was burned. And that was it. And Dhyan Chandra Goswami had lost his Gurudev, and he'd lost the service of Radhakant. There's no reason to live. Why do we want to live in this world? I tell you, don't mind me saying, but why? I grew up in San Jose. I went to high school, in Santa Teresa High School. Some of you may know. Huh? Why would anybody want to live in San Jose? Please forgive me. I went to high school there, so I can say. Why in the world would anyone want to? The only reason I can think is to preach, is to execute the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, why in the world would anyone want to be there? So for Dhyan Chandra Goswami, he'd lost his Gurudev, and now he'd lost his service. And some time went by. Some devotees came to Vrindavan for the Rath Yatra. And one of them came to him. He was talking with Dhyan Chandra Goswami. He said, yeah, you know, I was just in Vrindavan, and I was speaking with your Guru Maharaj. And Dhyan Chandra Goswami looked at him and said, look, don't make bad jokes, okay? He said, no, really. Near Dera Samir, there in Vrindavan, your Guru Maharaj is doing his bhajan. What? Dhyan Chandra Goswami walked all the way from Jagannatha Puri to Vrindavan. And there at Dera Samir, there's still a place, they call it the Radhakant Mutt, and there's a deity there of Gopal Guru Goswami sitting under a tree. He found his Gurudev. Guru Maharaj, that rascal king, he took the service away. You have to come back. And actually, excuse me, the first thing he said, Guru Maharaj, how is it possible? We burned your body. And Gopal Guru Goswami said, Are Baba, you don't understand anything? This is Vrindavan. This is a transcendental abode. He said, okay, Guru Maharaj, you should come back because the deity worship's been taken over, it's been hijacked, and you got to do something. And Gopal Guru Goswami said, no, I'm finished with that stuff. No more politics for me. I just want to stay here in Vrindavan and do my bhajan. He said, but you do this. You go to Siddhabakul, which is right near the Gambhira, just over here, and there's a big neem tree there. Cut that neem tree down and have a deity made of me, and I'll take care of everything. So they did that, and they installed that deity is there. And that deity, I don't know, he came in the dream of the king or something with a stick and told him, look, you rascal, you give the worship back to my disciple, Dhyan Chandra Goswami. So that's the story of that deity, Gopal Guru Goswami. Quickie. Okay, so it's now 11:45. Here's the game plan, okay? Listen carefully. We're going to go out the door. We're going to grab our shoes, and we're going to go to my left. Not the way we came in. There's a shortcut, and it'll avoid being on the busy street for the devotees. We're going to go to the left. There's a gate over there. If some of the devotees get there before we do, just wait there until I get there, please. and then we'll go to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Gaura Gambhira Dhamma ke, Shri Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hare ke, Go Premanande. Vancha Kalpatarubhischa, Kripa Sindhu Bhyeva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.